What is up, guys? We are back for yet another episode of our CubeCraft Skyblock Let's Play series. We got episode 16 today. Only a couple more until we get to 20, which is kind of crazy. Today's episode is going to focus on some nether progress. So we've got lots of good stuff today. We'll see how far we can get with our nether quests. I'm not sure we'll be able to unlock the next island just quite yet in the nether on today's episode, but we shall see how far we get. But before we get into the episode, if you haven't already, make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Consider subscribing if you are not already. And again, make sure to check us out on Fridays at 6:30 PST for our weekly live streams. So without further ado, let's get into the topic of today's nether progress video. So today, what we are going to do is do some work as it relates to Lightstone Lumberjack. So if you've watched even a couple of my videos, you've probably heard me complain or talk about how I just literally hate the gathering of glowstone and those quests. So if you didn't know, one thing you can do to get around that is build a witch dropper in the nether, and it's not cheap. So you need to have a good pig farm and a good pig dropper and a good creeper dropper set up, ideally, so you have the income to do it. And you might notice, if you haven't noticed already, that we're sitting at 200 million coins. So we're going to put that to good use here in a second as well. But we can build a witch dropper here in the nether, which allows us to collect glowstone that will actually count for the quest. So what I wanted to do today is actually do something a little bit different, where we're going to actually build this on the video instead of me like cutting away and just poof, it magically appears. I know some of you guys would like to see how some of the stuff is actually built, and so we're going to try to do that today. So let me know what you think after you watch this and if it was helpful. So just to get things started, I have this. It's going to be built right next to our pigman dropper. The spawners are not in here currently, but I just went out a number of blocks. I think it's like 6. And then what we're going to start with, and you don't have to build it this size, you could build it bigger. I probably wouldn't build it much smaller though, is a 5 by 6 square. You can use whatever block you want. It doesn't really matter. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it's 6 blocks wide. And what we need to do is we need to build our spawning platform. So this dirt platform is actually just for us to stand on while we're building this. This will go away eventually. And what you're going to need if you're going to use this design is you're going to need at least 30 fence gates. So I'm using some acacia fence gates here. The wood type doesn't really matter. And some type of building block to complete it. So I'm just using dirt because it's super cheap and I'm super cheap. So what we need to do first, after we get the platform built here, is build our roof. So this block represents where the fence gates are going to go. This block represents an air gap that we need. And then these 2 blocks are actually going to be our roof. Actually, wait. Let's see. Fence gate, air gap, spawner, yeah, roof. So to start, the top of the ceiling is actually going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks high. Did I do that right? No, I literally just broke it. Okay. Oh, it's that. Oh, it was glitching. Okay. So, this is a 5 block tall pillar, and what we want to do is break the 3 blocks underneath it, just like that. And then we just need to extend this to be the same size as our platform. It can be bigger if you want it to be, it doesn't matter. And so the reason why we're doing this 2 blocks thick is the spawners are going to go underneath this ceiling, and at least at the time of this video, the way that CubeCraft spawners work is they will not spawn mobs on a surface more than 2 blocks, or 2 blocks or more away from the spawners. So what that means is if we make this 2 blocks tall, the witches will not spawn on top of our roof. If we just made it 1 block tall, they actually would have a chance of spawning up there, and that would just not be good and cause problems. So the roof is over the top of this, and again, it is 2 blocks thick to ensure that our witches do not spawn on top accidentally. So the next step is going to be to place all of the fence gates, and as you place them, just open them up. I don't believe that the orientation matters. I could place them sideways, and it should still work. I just like them all going in the same direction, otherwise it starts to bother me. Just can't shift and do that. Okay. So I'm actually going to build out 1 more layer here just so I can stand on it. So we got 2 more rows to go. I really don't want to fall because I'll lose 20 million coins if I do. So there we go. So now we have our spawning platform, and the reason this works is the game will see these fence gates as effectively solid blocks that it thinks the witches can spawn on, and it'll actually spawn them, but the witches will in turn fall to their ultimate deaths. So what we need to do now is actually break this floor so that the witches can fall down. And so just to do that, I'm just going to actually build a little bridge down below so I don't have to worry about the hitboxes of the fence gates, and we'll just go ahead and break all this. And I really wish I had a shovel, but I don't have one, so bear with me while we break the floor here. So this is going to be now a transparent block, right? So the witches will actually fall straight through the fence gates. They won't stand on top of them. So we can get this last row here, and I think I actually need to build out 1 more to get that corner block. And there we have it. So before we place our witch spawners, I already have the collection system built below, and I'll just show you guys real quickly what that looks like. And then we actually need to go buy 2 more witch spawners. So we're going to start our witch farm with 4. I would recommend starting with 4 just because there's a whole host of things that witches can drop, and if you only have a couple spawners, you're just not getting many witches, and it's going to take a while. So instead of AFKing here with 2 spawners, what I would suggest doing is AFKing at your pig and creeper dropper and get all the money you need to buy 4 witch spawners, and then come in here and do the quest. So I have the same chest setup that I have for my pig dropper 2.0, where we've got a row of double regular chests, and then a row of double draft chests, and then another row of regular chests. And then there's hoppers that are feeding into each row, right? So if I put my sword up there, it's going to end up down here in the chests. And for all you guys who are wondering, I believe the drop here is about 45 blocks or so, and that should be okay with the witches. I actually did a little bit of testing beforehand just to make sure that they would die before I went and built this and made a fool of myself. So this is actually directly below the 5x6 square above. So there is a 5x6 square here of hoppers, as you can see. Trying to make the edges light up here for you. It's directly below our platform up there, and then I just have some hoppers on the outside of it just to catch any witches that might fall to the side, and or their drops might, you know, kind of pop out to the sides to try to catch any of those drops. They should, for the most part, fall straight down, so this should be enough surface area to catch them, and then this amount of double chests should be just fine to actually I should show you to collect all that stuff. So the way this works is each row of hoppers just feeds into the one in front of it. So this row feeds into the right side of the chest, and then this row all just feeds into the left side, and it's that same design all the way down, which should make for pretty easy and quick item transfer. So you can see all the hoppers are just in a straight line going right into the chests, But because there's hoppers underneath, they'll actually fill the bottom chests first. So this is where our witches are going to drop and die. And now all we need to do is, I can finally calm my nerves a little bit. We're going to buy our 2 additional witch spawners, so we'll have 4. We can just buy them from the shop guy here. I'm actually going to move him down there to the bottom after I buy them. So let's go monster spawners. And then you'll see here the witch spawners are 100 million coins each. So I definitely spent hours and hours AFK getting the coins that I needed from my pig and creeper droppers in order to have enough coins to buy all these. So now we've got 4. I already had 2. So 400 million coins sitting in my inventory, which is a little bit crazy. And we... Oh, shoot. Let me get the shop guy real quick. And the reason I'm going to bring him down there is so that when we empty the chests to sell all the stuff that's in them, because the witches will end up... Oh, okay. Well, we can't move him until we unlock the next island. That's okay. But the reason I want to move him down here is the witches will drop glowstone and gunpowder and sugar, among a couple of other things, and all of those 3 things in particular sell for quite a few coins. So it'll be a good source of, or a decent source of money as these chests fill up. It's certainly not a lucrative thing to buy witch spawners and build one of these for the sake of getting those drops. They're not really worth it. But we'll be able to at least recoup a little bit of our money as we spend some time AFK here. So I'm just building the edges out here of the bottom platform a little bit more so that when it is time to break the chests, I don't have to worry about falling off accidentally. And this should be all good to go. So let's go up to the top again. And we shall put down our spawners and see this thing in action. So again, there's just a chance of it dropping glowstone. It's not a guarantee. But when the witches drop glowstone, let's see, I'm going to put them... that's in the middle, so we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll start there. So there's a chance of dropping glowstone, right? So it's not guaranteed, but every time they drop a piece of glowstone and it gets pulled into the hoppers and the chests, it'll actually count for our quest. So let's take a quick look at where we're at. So we're at 2475 out of 5,000. And it will take a few seconds here for those spawners to warm up before they actually start spawning witches, but they should go here in just a minute. And we'll see the witches fall down onto our hoppers and see what we get. Let me look at that one more time. 2475. Okay. So again, we're using level 1 spawners here because the spawners... Oh, there we go. See, there's 4, 5, 6, 7. That was a pretty good first spawn. So let's see. I'm curious. 2475. There we go. 2482. So we got 7 glowstone from that first spawn. And when you see there was a tough one, and the tough one died. So we're falling far enough, and we should be rolling in the glowstone here. 2475. So we almost got 9 already, and we're just standing here doing nothing. I'm just talking, and we're getting glowstone. But I actually don't know. Someone can tell me. Actually, you guys can enlighten me. What it's like in Java, because I know it's different in survival as well. But on Bedrock, the build height in the Nether is 100 blocks, and the challenge with that is the spawners, the witch spawners we get from the Swampland Island, are such high level that even if we built something all the way down more or less at y = 0, 100 blocks is not actually enough to kill those witches. And so they wouldn't actually die from the fall, and so we can't use those spawners, at least on Bedrock. I've tried that in my co-op world. I basically built down to y = 0, and they still didn't die. Or at least the tough ones don't die, which is a problem. So I don't know if it's different on Java, because in survival Java, the build height in the nether is much greater than 100 blocks. I think it's the full 256 or 264, whatever the number is. But we can't go that high in Bedrock. So we have to buy witch spawners in order to do this. You cannot use the ones that you get from Swampland Island. So you can see here we got 12 glowstone in there, 12 in there, and 7 in there. So again, 2475, 2494. We almost have 20 glowstone. Again, guys, this just really beats sitting there punching glowstone trees. It drives me nuts. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a time lapse here, and then we'll cut back right as we are about to finish the quest, and we'll see what that looks like. Alrighty guys, we are back and almost done with the quest. You'll notice that the percentage skipped quite a bit from the time-lapse because there was no way I was going to time-lapse this thing for the full amount of time that I've spent AFK, but we are getting very close. We only need 38 more glowstone. For context, we've been AFK here for about, total time all in, probably about 8 hours or so, to get from the starting point, which was like basically halfway. I think we were at like 48 or 49% for that one. We just need 29 more. So you can see it comes pretty fast. You get the glowstone pretty fast, and then you'll also notice I put another row of hoppers on top of these chests, and it's because I noticed that every once in a while a witch would die and fall onto the chests, and then their drops would actually get stuck on top. So it wasn't a huge deal, but we were losing a few drops here and there, and so I just added this layer of hoppers so that that doesn't happen anymore. But we should be getting really close here. 76. And we've been getting a good amount of stuff that we can actually sell in here. So, like, if we take out... I'll just take out all the stuff that we can actually sell here. So glowstone, sugar, and gunpowder all actually sell for quite a bit. Spider eyes aren't that special. We're not going to get too much value from those, but all the other stuff actually will get us quite a bit of money, and cannot wait to get the next island unlocked here so that we can put a shop down here at the bottom and just sell that stuff a little bit easier. But this will work too. So this is another instance where the sell all command actually is slightly handy. And there we go, we get 2.6 million coins for all the stuff that we sold. So there's a good test to see what kind of money this thing makes, right? I obviously haven't sold all the stuff that's down here, but I just got, you know, 2.6 million coins, and we have 400 million coins sitting up there in the air. So it's certainly not the best way to make money, although we can at least recoup some of what we spent through taking the drops out. The sticks, we'll make them into ladders or something more useful, and then I guess we can save some of the glass bottles for potions, but we certainly don't need this many stacks, so we'll probably end up throwing most of these in the void because we cannot actually sell those bottles for coins. And we're getting real close. We only need 15 more. Let's see. We gotta get it. We gotta get it on camera here. We're so close. And we haven't gotten any more. And so, again, guys, like, you don't have to do this by any means. If you enjoy, for whatever crazy reason, cutting down glowstone trees, you can obviously do that to complete the quest. But again, I can just AFK here for 8 hours. I don't have to do anything, and we complete the quest anyways. So that's just my preference. But again, if you like doing the manual labor, you know, by all means, go for it. So while we're waiting for that to get to the end, let's just go up here and sell this. And for reference, guys, I guess in case anybody's wondering, the glowstone dust sells for 1,400 coins per. We already know gunpowder's 1,000. Right, yeah, okay, I'm not crazy. And then sugar sells for 1,500. So that's why we get so much money from this, because the glowstone and the sugar actually sell for quite a bit. So we got 5 million coins back now, which isn't terrible. And please tell me we got a couple more. Oh, we're so close. 6. We need 6 more. That's it. Oh, that witch was trying to potion himself as he was falling. That was kind of funny. We're so close. The quest should complete on its own, I believe, once we finish it. Come on, game. Oh, one more. One more. So close. So close. Wait for it. Okay, there's 4 of them. We gotta get it now. There's no way. Oh, really? Oh, man. That last one. Just doesn't want to give it to us. The game is trolling us now. Hey, there we go. Lightstone Lumberjack. Stage 1, because there's 3 more versions of this quest. But stage 1 is finally complete. So we should be able to run on over here and get our reward. Because we don't have to come over here. But so we get some experience bottles. We get the next Prot 4 piece of armor. I think it's the helm. And another 500,000 coins. Let's see. Yeah, the helm. So we'll take that blast protection helm off. And now we got 3 pieces of Prot 4 iron armor. Alright. Let's see real quick what our other quests are. So, the Mythical Majesty one's going to take a little bit of time. Golden Apples is easy. And the Pigman quest as well is pretty easy. Alright, let's head on back to the main island. Alright guys, now that I made it back to the main island, I think that we're actually going to call it for the episode, just because this thing's already getting close to 30 minutes long, and I don't want to make it too long. But we got a lot done with the Witch Dropper. That's going to help us out a lot. In the next episode, we will definitely unlock the next Nether Island. But before we go, I wanted to show you guys a little surprise that I found on my island. So I have no way of proving this, obviously, but because this isn't like bedrock or anything crazy. But I came back from the nether, and there was a glass block placed on my island with a sign that says, "Use bone meal on grass to get red flowers, mystery dev." And this is my response back to him, because if you guys remember, in my latest tips and tricks video, I wasn't sure if you could actually use bone meal to get flowers and get red dye that way, so I just said to do beetroot. But apparently we have a visitor and somebody who's spying on us, both on the island and and our videos. So if you are that mystery dev that's watching this video, I look forward to hearing again from you soon. But again, guys, that's gonna do it for today's episode. Got a lot done. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you are not, and again, keep an eye out for those Friday streams at 6:30 p.m. PST, and I will see you guys out there, or see you guys in the next episode, where we will continue to crank through the nether and get that next island unlocked, and just keep on trucking, guys. So see you guys in the next one.